Hey guys, Alex here with Armadillo Armament. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys Goon tape. Now, I've already previously discussed this on the video, but I really have started using it a lot more on a lot of my different firearms, and I really wanted to discuss the benefits of using the product and then I guess my experience with it. And what prompted this video was really a conversation I was having with a friend of mine, where we were discussing whether or not it was beneficial, whether or not it was a scam. You keep seeing videos online of people saying that it is just a waste of money and it is worse hockey tape, and even then, hockey tape isn't worth it, and I wanted to give my 2 cents. So, before we jump into the video, I partnered with Red Pawn Shop. He does make really cool pictures or really cool patches of armadillos with quad knots and MCXs. I'll put them on the screen now. If you use code Armadillo, you will get 5% off your order, and I'll get a small kickback. You're not only buying a really cool patch, but you're saving the planet. All right, so what is Goon tape? Let's be real, guys. Goon tape is hockey tape. And what hockey tape can do for your firearm is it can add potentially a little bit more grip. There's a reason why hockey players use it on their sticks, and a lot of other sports, a lot of different professions use hockey tape. For example, I actually use this on a barbell that I have because it's really, really slick, and I like very aggressive guns and textures and everything, but I found that it was just a little bit too slick, so this roll went on that. But we've been putting hockey tape on things for a really long time. You can go, 20 years back and you will see guys using hockey tape on their 1911s to kind of like pin their grip safety, but also just because they like how they feel. And on Glocks, Glocks notoriously had a really slick texture on the earlier generations. So we've been putting rubber bands and hockey tapes and Ranger bands and everything on our guns for a really long time. This isn't a new concept, and Goon tape definitely, they're not pioneers of anything. They're just creating a product that is hopefully better than others, and I want to talk about that now. This roll of tape is $10. Right? If you buy it in a pack of 3, it is a little bit less expensive, and it is going to give you 60 feet of product. And I keep seeing it online that Goon tape is a waste of money and they're overpriced. And what I would say to that is if you go on like Amazon or whatever your sports retailer may be and you look up hockey tape, you will find incredibly similarly priced items. And if it's not the exact same as $10, then we're looking at like $8, right? It's really not that much less expensive to go with non-Goon tape like Howie's hockey tape. But Goon tape is a little bit different than others, and I have used hockey tape extensively in the past. Hockey tape is a lot less soft than Goon tape, which is a pro and a con, but I've also found that hockey tape needs to be replaced a lot more frequently than this titular Goon tape. Alternatively, things like this have existed for a long time. This sandpapery kind of tape that you're going to put on like steps. This is interesting. I wouldn't recommend this. It's, these rocks are just going to like shear off over time. But the Goon tape does position itself as a slightly superior product, in my opinion, to something like Howie's, where you are going to be replacing it, honestly, every single game. Remember, I played football for a long time, and we used hockey tape on everything, and we replaced it every single game because stuff just wears out really quickly. So now it's finally time to talk about firearms. In front of you, I have a couple guns. I have a USP tactical with our UTL, really cool system, and the USP has a pretty good amount of aggression in the grip. It's kind of like a sandpapery texture, as you can see, but this hockey tape going over it, it does give it a little bit more purchase. And now it's time to talk about that, because like I said, this is softer than the little kind of like stipples you'll see on the Glock, the little raised squares. However, it is going to, when you are grabbing the firearm, it is going to compress when you are putting your hand on the grip, and it is just going to, in many ways, almost act like finger grooves, as an example. It's just going to lock your fingers in, and it's going to add that little bit of flex within the kind of receiver or the frame of the firearm. And if you run your hand over this, the first thing you'll say is, wow, that's really soft, and that's not as aggressive as my stippling. But once again, I just find that especially when my hands are wet, this 100% can aid in the grip on the firearm, depending, of course. I still would prefer stippling, but this is a $10 solution instead of a $300 solution. Um, Over here, I have my EDC gun. This is obviously a 43X. This 43X does not have very aggressive kind of stippling on the frame whatsoever. It's stock. So what I find is, especially once you get into about 2 layers of Goon tape, I find that when my fingers kind of grip around the firearm, it'll make a little bit of an impression that honestly you can kind of see. And it is just going to lock that firearm just a little bit more securely into my hand. Now, going back to the moisture thing, moisture is its largest benefit, in my opinion. I find that when my hands are wet, Glocks and many others, like this USP as an example, or sweaty, I find that I will not have nearly the amount of traction that I'm looking for, right? Whereas with this hockey tape, even though it is a little bit softer and a little bit less aggressive than something like this over here, this G45 is actually, these little bumps are pretty aggressive, to be honest with you. I just still find that it gives me a lot better of a purchase. And now when we're thinking about a EDC firearm, a vast majority of the time it's going to be inside your waistband, and your waistband can get kind of sweaty, right? This is going to be resting against your stomach. So when you are drawing that firearm, that Goon tape just really provides a nice stable, right, a nice stable grip, and I prefer it on my EDCs. Up here I have it on my Roland Special. Same exact reason as to why I have it on the 43X. I carry this gun a lot, and I find that the Goon tape just really makes it so when my hands are wet, especially living in the middle of Maine, your hands can be wet very frequently, depending on if it's 100% humidity or if it's just raining. I just find that it makes it a lot better to hold. And then finally over here, I have a kind of a test bench gun. This is a 920. It's a Roland build. This is actually going to be getting some new stuff that Holosun is sending me. But regardless, same exact concept here. I just find that when I am gripping the gun, it does provide a much better, just kind of shooting experience, right? A much better grip. So, to all the naysayers out there that say to run away from Goon tape, I really question why. I say, well, what is your rationale? Are you just upset that Goon tape is charging $10 for a roll and you don't think it's worth $10? That's fine, right? Stock lock grips are perfectly adequate. Not fine, but adequate, I would say. Same with this USP. But if you are just that person that says, oh, I don't like the Goon tape fad and I think it's kind of useless, then you know what? I really implore you to rethink that level of thinking. Because in all reality, I wasn't a Goon tape supporter. I made a video previously where I talked about it, and I think I lightly recommended it. I didn't love it, but I lightly recommended it. And recently, in the past couple of weeks, I have put this on a majority of my guns. I think I saw like Garand Thumb or someone using it on one of his firearms, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it another shot, and I'm going to really dedicate to it. And since then, it's not perfect. I wish it was a little bit more aggressive and less soft, but it being soft has benefits. When it's resting against your stomach while inside your pants, it's not going to chafe the inside of your stomach. But I digress. Anyway, I really dedicated to using this the past couple weeks, and I've found that I kind of love it. I've completely flipped my opinion. It used to be something that I just kind of lightly recommended. Now I'm at the point where I say, if you have any guns at all, grab just one package of this. It's going to be $10. That's it. Or you can go buy hockey tape. It doesn't matter. This is better, but hockey tape still works perfectly fine. Wrap it on a gun and just give it a try. Make sure to go downstairs, go to your bathroom, whatever, get water all over your hands, and then try to grab your gun. You will find that your hand is just, it's going to be a lot more locked in with that tape kind of material. I also implore you to mess around with the amount of layers. That is something I've had a lot of success with. With this, I'm currently sitting at between 1 and 2 layers. They overlap a little bit, but before I used to have like 3 or 4 layers on here where it kind of bulged out on the side. And that wasn't quite for me just because I liked this being a little bit slimmer, but that does have the advantage of giving you a lot more just ability for your hands and your fingers to make like an indent in that tape if you're Vulcan gripping it. So there's a lot of experimentation to be done. I am going to continue and kind of use this and just really bring it through its paces and get sweat and rain and everything on top of this, blood if I have to, and report to you guys back. But anyway, Goon Tape, you guys make a pretty good product. Sorry for doubting you guys. Keep making good stuff. And guys, it's just a small firearm company that's trying to have a little bit of fun. Don't take it too seriously. You guys don't need to go brigade on Reddit saying that if you buy Goon Tape, you're an idiot loser and Howie's is just as good. It's not just as good. And even if it was just as good, guys, it's not that expensive. It's like $10 for an entire roll. So, all right, this has been Alex with Armadillo Armament. Thanks for stopping into this video. We have a lot more really cool stuff coming up in the future with Hollow Sun. This was kind of like an in-between video. I'll catch you guys in the next one.